I was happy to beat everybody associated with the Jets.
Did he spit on him?
Okay, so football is back, everybody. Happy New Year, and welcome back to the TubFrog Screams at Random Teams every single week show. It's gonna be a good time all year. Hope you stick around. I'm gonna be dropping these every single Tuesday morning. So without further ado, you know the drill if you've been here before. Let's get right into the games. What the fuck is going on, man? Bro, we just got back into the office. Before I could even grab a drink, the best fucking player in the field got kicked out of the game for spitting on Dak Prescott. But he didn't even spit first, but also it's sort of on him at the same time. And the Eagles lost their fucking fullback, and he's done for the year. And this was before the game even began. I don't know, bro. Maybe this is a sign that the season is going to be on some bullshit, and you know what? I'm so down for that. But week one is always the week of learning. Both teams in the Eagles and Cowboys have pretty similar personnel, but just different coaching than last year. And the Eagles just won the damn Super Bowl, so everything's fine. I mean, they're so locked in, they're not even going to take the field for the banner. And then proceeded to allow Dallas to go right down the field and score. Okay, and with Jalen Carter gone, at least the Eagles have now evened the playing field in terms of talent on the D-line, with Jerry hitting a Fortnite dance on Micah's contract grave, and Jalen Carter getting a little freaky with Dak. Two superstars were gone, and, well, even without Jalen Carter, the Eagles are better, but, like, am I crazy, or did the Eagles just not look like a very great team at all? And this is not the team that I thought was going to win the Super Bowl. Like, I get it. It's week one. There's rust. Trust me. I've been doing this whole football thing for a long-ass time, but the offensive philosophy for the Eagles looked different. Saquon didn't even have a chance for an explosive run. He had to work for everything. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith weren't used whatsoever. Jalen Hurts' legs had to do everything, and things looked prime for a Dallas upset. But the prophet, Matthew, got socked in the mouth right away, and the Eagles stayed in the game. To be fair, he did adjust in the second half nicely. Now, how much of that was because of a random-ass thunderstorm, I'm not sure, but he did make some adjustments. But yeah, there was an hour pause in the middle of this game. So after my fat ass woke up from a nap to the sweet, soothing voice of Jason Garrett, we got some more solid entertainment. The Cowboys had the ball and, again, had a chance to upset the champs. They just needed to rely on their star power.
CD couldn't hang on!
You just need to catch that ball, CD. You just have to. Okay, well, at least they get one more chance. Fuck. Look, all I'm saying is Henry Ruggs would have caught that ball. Just my thought process. But the Cowboys looked honestly better than I thought. I thought this would have been a complete blowout. I was not a fan of the matchup going into it to just watch for entertainment. But both teams battled. The Eagles have a lot to work on, and Dallas obviously does too. But I'm optimistic for the Eagles, I think. You know, if I drank a bottle of sodium hypochlorite for each time a Chiefs star receiver got popped by his own player and suffered a serious injury in the last 2 seasons, I'd be dead, but it's happened twice, is the point, okay? The first fucking drive of the season, the Chiefs lost their best weapon on offense that can safely operate a vehicle, because the other guy is, occupied right now. Fucking fantastic. And so Mahomes took a deep breath, looked at his weapons of Juju Smith-Schuster and Marquise Brown, looked at Matt Nagy on the sideline, contemplated, and still somehow managed to take over this game. I mean, for anyone who somehow thought Mahomes wasn't a top 1 quarterback, I don't know what else to say. Look at what he had versus an elite defense and what Herbert had, and watch the highlights again. Like, if Mahomes had Jamar Chase, records would be shattered again. But the Chargers remained in control for pretty much all of it, but it was shocking to see the philosophy change Greg Roman had. I mean, since when does he know what a forward pass is? The Chargers lived and died by the pass, and in this game, they lived. They had no business passing at the end of the game too, but it worked out, and the Chiefs have finally fallen in a 1-score game. It's just rough that Xavier Worthy went down early, but I feel like I need to give all the props to Justin Herbert. I mean, everyone knows that he's an amazing player. He's still somewhat underrated, but he's working his way into that top 4 conversation of Burrow, Allen, Lamar, and Mahomes. He's that good, and he literally played a perfect game in this one. It was just an incredible performance to watch, again, versus a very good Chiefs defense. So, you know, the Chargers are gunning for that top spot, and as of now, the Chiefs are at the bottom of the AFC West after... Oh, come on. That's too damn easy. You can't be giving us easy wins like that, New England. Come on now. We're going to the Super Bowl. So, if you didn't watch this game, then let me calm myself down and congratulations. That's all I can say. You value your time. I'm proud of you. But man, was I actually excited. Because for the first time in like 2 fucking years, I actually expected us to win a football game. And we did. Fuck you, Josh. Fuck you. Okay, right away the commentators were like, hey, look, it's Josh McDaniels. Did you know he used to coach the Raiders? Yes. Yes, I did. But holy shit, that first drive, it was perfect. Perfect. We were like a real football team. I was sat. But then it fell apart. Geno threw a horrible pick, and we just couldn't protect anything. Now, this is still miles better than what Geno had as an offensive line in Seattle, but it still wasn't great. And meanwhile, Drake May with protection did look good. He made a few mistakes, he threw a rough pass too high, but overall, for a first game in a new system, I was impressed. Granted, our defense sucks, but he made a lot of the right plays with little talent. It's just, like, Josh McDaniel didn't even dial up a single pass over 12 yards until they were, like, actually just out of the game. And eventually, the raw sexual presence of Chip Kelly was just too much. But I hate to admit it, it's just these are 2 not very good teams. We'll be competitive with people, and New England will as well, but our defense in particular has, like, 3 good players, and then people like Jamal Adams and Devin White. And my boy Devin, he was eating good in the offseason. Good lord. But in this game, it was enough. The Patriots had a chance to keep it at least competitive, but Will Campbell had a meltdown drive. I was not expecting that. He allowed a strip sack and a false start, with Dante Thornton ending up calling game. And we're undefeated. We're better than the Chiefs, and it's not even close. We're going to the Super Bowl. There's no debate about it. But honestly, overall, I feel like we were exactly what I thought we were. No more, no less. Just like a fine team. We're going to win like 9 games max, 6 games minimum. We're cool. I thought Genty, even though his stat line wasn't great, I thought he was really good out there. The Patriots stacked the box pretty much every play, forcing Geno to throw, and you know what? He did it. He did Geno things. He made like 6 mistakes, but otherwise played really good football. So I'm just so excited to watch a pretty solid team, man. I'm really, really happy. For now. You did it, Miami. You managed to play a game so poorly that I feel like I need to make a long video on you, or else I'm just doing all of you a disservice. And look, let's start with the Colts, okay? Because I feel like when performances like this happen, I only focus on the team that fucked up that badly. But Indianapolis fans, I mean, I think you're happy, right? For one, this game is objectively funny, but I'm not going to make any conclusions on the Colts, all right? The defense did its thing, surprisingly. Daniel Jones is the sexiest man alive. Tyler Warren's a monster, so congratulations on that. But this isn't for you, okay? I'm not talking about you today, Colts fans, because we got another problem to address. Oh my goodness gracious. Miami. Does Chop Robinson play football? Where's Tyreek Hill? What happened to the O-line? Mike McDaniel, how do you roll out here after an offseason where it's 100% clear to everyone, every single living, breathing, warm body in that fucking building is playing for their jobs, including the damn general manager? He would have been fired from fucking Burger King if he was running a store, but he's still employed. But every single one of you is playing for your jobs, and you just got penetrated by Danny Dimes. I'm not even joking. I'm just breaking down what happened. Like, I didn't say anything, like, over-exaggerative there. Mike McDaniel, as of right now, has lost the culture. This is an offense who has the best, most talented wide receiver duo in football, arguably. And they don't use them. Or they just can't, because Tua... Listen, is everything Tua's fault? No. But if you're gonna give a guy $200 fucking million, he can't have his fucking handheld at all times, okay? This dude buried them in the first half and did nothing to get them out of the hole. I mean, just checkdowns, awful picks. It's a fucking disgrace. This guy is not going to elevate your team and win you a Super Bowl. He's just not. He doesn't have it in him. And there wasn't a singular moment in this professional football game where your $200 million quarterback didn't look better than a guy in a veteran minimum. This is why your organization is a fucking joke, okay? And I know I'm saying that as a Raider fan, but it's just, it's incredible that this team doesn't get the flack that they deserve. They have have been nothing but utter shit for 25 years, and the culture's dead. I just hate watching a waste of talent. It's insane. They have good ideas, they have good games sometimes, they just can't put it together, and they won't under this regime, so I don't know what else to say. Either stop wasting the talent, get your shit together, or just blow it up.
Hey, Mater. It's nice to finally be back in Radiator Springs. I want you.
This entire offseason, Zach Taylor made one thing clear. The Bengals are not going to start out the year slow. It cost them a playoff spot last year because they lost to Jacoby fucking Brissett. And again, they got a freebie. The fucking Cleveland Browns lie in front of the most stacked offense in the league. But this wasn't just any Browns team, because Joe is back. Joe Flacco won the size war between the Joes today, and it wasn't even close. But this game was slow. The Bengals' offensive line was not holding up well, while the Browns were, well, Dylan Sampson isn't exactly getting the job done as wide receiver one. And also, there's this new kicker, Andrea Sismet, something like that. Whatever, he's not important. But yeah, it's kind of hard to analyze what happened in this game, because I don't know to be furious or satisfied, and at who. I think the Bengals defense played solid. The tackling was at least good, but they should have fucking lost this game 100% of the time. The Browns receivers dropped everything. Joe's first pick wasn't even close to his fault. It just breaks my heart to see that on his stat line, but the Bengals couldn't close the door. Late in the game, they needed points. They needed Joe Burrow to go down the field, Jamar Chase to do something, then sack. Myles Garrett is pretty good at football. And then Joe Flacco had enough. Fuck this shit, he's gonna go win the game himself. Joe's got one more in him. He went down the field, and a field goal was more than acceptable. The way this game's gone, a field goal should...
And it is no good! He missed it wide to the right!
Cut him. I'm sorry. This dude does not belong in the NFL anymore. What is going on with these kickers? Dude, holy shit. But luckily, the Bengals really fucking stunk it up on offense. All credit to the Browns defense, I think. Once again, I'm really not sure. But, we know the Bengals offense is great. That's why I'm not overreacting. But you fucking failed, Zach. This team came out flat again. And now you're at the mercy of Joe Flacco. Joe held your fate in his own hands. But Cedric Tillman couldn't hold his own nutsack, and he bobbled the ball straight into the air, picked off. Game over. I hate you, Cleveland. Why would you ruin such a great Joe Flacco performance? All I wanted to see was the Bengals lose, and you couldn't do it. This was a free win. The Bengals lose this game 99 times out of 100. But fuck, man, the drops decided it entirely. This was just a sad one to watch, and honestly, part of me was hoping Joe Flacco would go 99 yards in 13 seconds. That would have been hilarious. But, this is the definition of a win is a win game. Just don't let it happen again.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Bucs Falcons was probably the game I was looking forward to the most in the early slate, at least, because one of these teams is winning the division. And I picked Tampa, but Atlanta has the weapons for sure. Penis, Bijan, London, they got the firepower, but do they have the defense? Well, I'm genuinely shocked, but it actually seems like they sort of do. It makes me happy to see Divine Diablo ball out. Dude's always been a solid run stopper, so congratulations to him, but this matchup, after a slower first half, picked up where it was last year, when Captain Kirk was commanding the ship. Michael Penix was tasked with winning the game himself, versus a Bucs team with a Super Bowl core still sort of intact, and he went down the field and did just that. The man did everything he could to win this game, and they scored, but Baker Mayfield is a bad man too. Baker was throwing dimes all game long. I thought Atlanta actually played great coverage. And of course, he went down the field, Emeka scored, and oh shit. Okay, never mind. They missed the PAT, and now the penis was ready. The Falcons didn't have Drake London after a shoulder sprain, but they did have the second highest paid kicker in the league, and Young Hoku never misses, right? And after Cordell Hodge just forgot what sport he was playing for a second, couldn't tell you what happened there, but whatever, just send out Young Hoku. I'm going to keep calling him that. I don't care. A guy who barely snuck in his last kick. A guy who hasn't been even an average kicker since week 2 of last year. But here he comes. He's surely healthy, right? Game on the line. He missed the kick. He missed the kick. What is going on this week? I mean, what am I missing here? Is it that hard to kick a fucking field goal? There are kickers on the street that can consistently make these kicks. And the second highest paid kicker can't do it? I'm watch this shit here. I mean, is it even that hard to make contact if you just, set up the ball, you get a good hold. Go, hold on. This is not a good idea. From 44. Shit.
Girl, I can't lie, I miss you. You and the music were the only things that I commit to.
This is sad, man. I was really hyped for this game, too. To me, this was an obvious shootout. Liam Cohen had too many toys to play with for this not to be an explosive game from the Jaguars. The question for me was, could Bryce Young keep things going? Could he keep the momentum rolling? And no, he couldn't. He barely went for 100 yards. His stats are horrible, and they don't even paint the full picture of how awful he was out there. But, if this were just like an incredible performance from Jacksonville's defense alone, that'd be a whole different thing. Jacksonville's defense was good. They did a good job. I don't want to take anything away from them. Josh Hines-Allen had 7 pressures. He's a monster as always, but Bryce just had so many terrible throws. There's a difference between making a bad decision because of pressure and this. 0 sacks for the defense of Carolina, 1 tackle for a loss. Bryce Young didn't even remotely look like he knew how to play NFL football again, and it's just the joke is going to be from this game that, all you got to do is bench Bryce Young and he'll come back motivated again, but that just doesn't work twice, okay? Human beings have psyches, and I think Bryce Young has one too. I don't know what else to say. If you can't pass in the Jaguars, it's just worrying to me. I think they have to keep sticking with Bryce Young. Obviously it's week 1, we're not going to completely overreact here, but that was a putrid performance, and he just needs to do better. Of course, this was the shootout, bro. Jets, Steelers. I know how dangerous a motivated Aaron Rodgers is. Trust me, I understand. But holy hell, he played his ass off. 4 touchdowns for the geriatric fuck, but I'm conflicted, because this wasn't supposed to happen. I was supposed to laugh at these two teams, and I am, because of the outcome, but the journey was positive. The Jets looked good. They have a good culture working, and they not only competed, but they should have won the game. The offense played well enough to win 99% of their games, but the football gods would not allow it. It'd be too funny to lose to Aaron Rodgers for it to not happen, and I loved a lot of the jokes written for this game, too. It was a good script. I don't know how much Jonnu and Arthur Smith explored each other's bodies in the offseason, but it culminated in the reach-around handoff for a score. The bounce catch off of DK was genuinely great. Love that. And the Steelers also did have some injury scares, though. It wasn't all positive. Elliott went down, TJ Watt and Porter got banged up, but none of it mattered. Because nobody could stop anyone in this game. Because I don't know. I don't think Aaron Rodgers, blew me away. He was what he was last year, basically. But it was enough to win from a 60-yard field goal from Chris Boswell. The only fucking kicker who actually knows how to do his job this week. But the Jets still had a chance. Because Justin Fields was balling out. He was not only keeping them in this game, but he was the Jets' offense. He looked completely in command against a good Steelers defense. The last play was a Ramsey hit stick. Just great football. That's what we all want to see. I don't know. I think this game was overwhelmingly positive for both teams. I don't know what else to say other than that. I want to yell at them and be like, oh, the Steelers look like shit, but honestly, not really. The defense, and it needs a lot of work, and I think that both teams need more offensive firepower, and that's why they're both not Super Bowl contenders. Obviously, I'm not going to say the word Jets and Super Bowl contenders in the same sentence ever again, but this was positive overall for both teams. Clean up the defense, and you both can win some football games for sure. Just not sure if the Jets actually want to do that.
Wilson, end zone incomplete.
I really hate that I hate watching Russell Wilson play football now. He used to be so fun. For those of you who are too young to remember, just go watch old Russell Wilson highlights. It's a great time, but he's just the opposite of that now. The Commanders didn't even do that much, but holy shit, the Giants fucking suck. This defense was supposed to be good, but no. Instead, the Giants allowed 18 second-and-long chunk plays, played soft-ass coverage, schemed their own pass rush out of this game, and did nothing on offense. And what does all of this mean? It means this team is poorly coached. I don't know any other way around it, right? How can we keep blaming everything about the entire team on why they're not winning and not point the finger at Brian Daboll? I don't know what else to say. This team hasn't even been mildly a threat in a decade. And no, the Daniel Jones team was not going anywhere. But their offensive line right now is so unbelievably terrible that I think this is kind of the plan. Please do not put Jackson Dart in. It scared me that Brian Daboll had to be yeah, I think Russell Wilson's going to be our starter in week 2. bro, Jackson Dart would be a sacrifice to the football gods if you throw him out there. This offensive line is a travesty. So this was a rough game. I thought that they were going to remain competitive. They didn't, and the Commanders honestly looked good, but not in the way that they actually played well. It was that Jane Daniels didn't really do all that much special, but he still went for 300 yards, and they won in a blowout. So the Commanders have their weapons. They're going to be a good team. Don't think too much into it.
And as reported earlier, he missed a shoot-around, but he was in bed all day and continued to throw up.
Well, man, the NFC West is going to be so fucking ass, man. The O-line for the Cardinals couldn't remotely block the Saints' defensive line, and Kyler was sacked 5 times. And the defense was also a mixed bag. Will Johnson and the secondary had their moments for sure. However, Spencer Rattler should not have carved them up like he did. Not saying he was great, but Rattler was pretty fine and better than I thought, because he just looked comfortable for most of the game, which is a compliment to Kellen Moore as well. He was making things easy on him for sure, which is good. It's just, for Arizona, that's a fucking problem that they almost lost this game. I don't really have much to say here. I mean, the Cardinals' offense is sadly not going to be as explosive as I thought they were, but, maybe they're still a year or two away. Maybe that's cope. Who knows? The Saints are going to be terrible. Neither of these teams is going to be in Super Bowl contention, but I think the Saints could win 5 games this year. But again, just like the Jets, maybe they don't even want to do that. Again, one of these teams, including the Rams and the Cardinals, are going to have a chance to win the division. I repeat, either the 49ers or Seahawks might win this division, but they looked so bad. Really, really bad. For the Niners, the 95-yard touchdown drive with classic Shanahan stuff was cool, but then George Kittle went down, and all of a sudden they couldn't do anything. Purdy did Purdy things. He played a solid game and then just made 2 of the worst throws you'll ever see in your entire life, but that's pretty standard at this point. And meanwhile, the Darnold was just not trusted. It's clear they want to keep the ball in the hands of their most talented players, and Kubiak does not think Darnold is one of those guys. Every pass play went to Jackson Smith-Njigba as the number 1 option, and I sort of agree. He easily had the top first read rate in the league, but the offensive line is not good enough to be in a position to be a strong group yet to run the football. They're just not there yet, but Jake Moody kept Seattle in it. By the time I post this video, I'd be shocked if he still has a job, but Seattle had no business being in this one. But all of a sudden, they were winning the game and were in a position to steal it. The Seahawks had this game won despite playing a very, very poor football game, only because of the 49ers' mistakes. They've lost exact game scripts like this so many times last year, the Niners did. Every other loss was like this, but not this one. No, no, no. Not this time. Not fucking this time. Tariq Woolen. He's employed. He is genuinely employed by the National Football League's Seattle Seahawks. Can you believe that? Because this was a motherfucker who was supposed to be an elite shutdown cornerback, a potential all-pro and Hall of Fame cornerback, and what did he do in the final drive? He fucking got torched by Ricky Pearsall, gambled on a pick. He's trying to go for a pick on every fucking play instead of just playing defense and stopping the ball, leading the 49ers to get into the red zone in the final drive when they needed a touchdown. And then guess what happens? Scramble drill, 3rd down. All they need to do is play solid defense. Everyone does their assignments. Purdy rolls out to the right, just throws up a fucking prayer to the 7th string tight end over Tariq Woolen, because why not just throw it at Tariq Woolen? Throw it at his fucking face and it'll work out. And he did. The 4th string mosses him. Game over. 49ers win. Fuck you. Cut him.
I think I'm gonna go home and drink myself into an oblivion.
Uh-oh. The Packers are just better. I mean, the Packers looked amazing. If this team keeps playing like this, nobody's going to beat them in the league. There is not a single team that can match the Packers' firepower when they're firing on all cylinders. Jordan Love's just such a funny player. On the first drive, you can tell whether he's going to have a great game or not. And on the first drive, it was clear that he was locked in. Most of the time. And Jacobs barely did anything, too. But Micah Parsons was a major factor in this game, too. The defense played well, but Detroit just may not be the same team. Once again, week 1, not going to overreact, but maybe missing all those linemen is actually a bigger problem than we thought. And that was Ben Johnson's number 1 philosophy, too. Even when he went to Chicago, he did everything he could to build an offensive line. And the Lions now have a protection and a run blocking problem, among others. Because the D-line was bad. I get it, Aleem McNeil is still coming back, but what if Aiden Hutchinson is just never the same player again? Like, I know, it's week 1, I'm not going to overreact, I don't think that, but it just has to be in the back of your mind. And they have the talent, they need to be better, and I think they will be better, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like the dark truth from this game is that the Packers are just better than the Lions. They really just are. Micah Parsons really put them over the edge like that, and maybe that's just the worst thing that could have happened from this game, is that the Lions, at their best, can't compete with the Packers at their best.
Yes, sir!
You know football's back when it's 2 p.m., you're barely awake on your couch, and you can faintly hear the Denver Broncos play some mediocre football in the background. I guess I didn't go far enough in my preview. Like, I really should have been more worried about Denver, I guess. I don't know why every team keeps saying, oh, it's week 1, it'll get better, don't worry, but you can't keep relying on that. Like, with Denver, it's a little different, I guess, because their defense is so fucking good that they can bail you out, especially in a game where they're playing a baby Cam Ward, but Bo Nix played a stinky, stinky, stinky football game. Picks, awful passes, miscommunication, turnovers, all of it came out in this game. And I do agree, like, it can happen sometimes, but I legitimately think they lose this game to 29 other NFL teams. But luckily, it was versus the Titans and Cam Ward in his first NFL game. And since 2010, only Caleb Williams has won a game as a week 1 starter as the number 1 pick. So, yeah, in Denver, in Mile High, he had no shot to win it. Because the Broncos defense did play really well, and this was also without Greenlaw. Like, after week 1, I think this defense is top 1 for me. And in this game, that was enough to cover up a horrendous offensive performance. And for the Titans, I mean, they had their moments and had like 20 opportunities to win this game, but whatever. Cam's not ready yet. I mean, this was like asking a 3rd grader to take the fucking bar. I mean, this was a horrendous assignment to be given. Like, I don't know what else to say. For Denver, if this happens next week, for the offense specifically, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Oh, I'm fucking dying!
I hate that I'm right, and I'm wrong about the things I want to be right about with the Texans. Turns out, this offensive line is as bad, if not worse, than what we thought. Holy hell, this offense is unwatchable. They took Nico Collins out of their own game plan with the amount of pressure they let up on Stroud. And, like, watch CJ Stroud and then watch Brock Purdy. Every Purdy throw is a clean pocket. He has time. He goes through his progressions. While every single CJ Stroud pass is like running away off of 1 foot because he has no other choice. They are ruining a franchise quarterback. And I'm not saying Stroud has perfect pocket presence either, okay? He makes his mistakes, obviously. He's not a top 7 quarterback in the league. It's just so sad to watch, though. I mean, the Rams and McVay didn't even respect them remotely. They played this game so conservatively, and it worked. They trusted their defense could completely contain the Texans and force them to play their game, and they were right. This team is also just so unfun, too. They have a poo offense and a great defense. The coverage issues aside, too, though, their defense is amazing. I do mean that. But damn it, Devontae and Puka were torching them for a lot of the game. It's depressing. I hate wasted potential. And that's what this team is. They're a great coaching staff and offensive line away from being the best team in football. But I don't know what else to say. Like, this is a great win for the Rams, too. This is what Sean McVay does. He steals you games like this. When things aren't going great for the Rams for a majority of it, the veterans, the great coaching staff can just pull it out. Sean McVay is a top 1 coach, and it's still not even close. So if the Rams can keep winning these scrappy games like this, they're probably going to win the division with the other shit going on in there.
I just said, just shut up and let me enjoy this pain.
Oh my god, the game of the year just happened in week 1. It was an amazing game to start, but holy fuck, man. After DeAndre Hopkins caught that one-handed catch, this game just shifted into legendary status. Now, I hate to just jump ahead straight to the great part, but seriously, the great part was that great. And chances are you probably already watched this game, so let me just lose my mind in this part, okay? Because to this point, up to the DeAndre Hopkins catch, the Bills were getting outmatched. It's not that they looked bad, the Bills looked like a top 4 team in the league, it's just the Ravens were top 1 and it wasn't even close. And the battle kept raging on regardless, though. The Ravens ended up getting another touchdown, the Bills kept scoring, there were haymakers coming from all sides of the field, but like I said, when the Ravens are at their best, they just seem unstoppable right now. There is only one team in the entire NFL that can consistently beat the Ravens, and we both know who that team is, right? Say it with me. The Ravens. Lamar and Henry were unstoppable. The Bills had zero answers. I am a little bit concerned about the Bills' defense, to be honest with you, but they were in it. They needed a stop, but they just couldn't get it. And then Derrick Henry fumbled. It's just an absolute heartbreaker because Henry was playing his ass off. Pun entirely intended. He was dominating out there, but on that fumble, the momentum completely switched. The Bills crowd came alive, they scored a touchdown, and the Ravens now had to do something themselves. They had to go win this game, but instead, the play calling went ultra-conservative out of nowhere. They didn't even try to win the game. They were just playing for the first down. Horrible, horrible play calling. The Bills got the ball back, and from there, it was just over. Josh Allen had entered another dimension of playing football. He was dialed in. He found Keon Coleman. I thought he was going to get a walk-off, which probably would have lost him the game, honestly, if he scored the touchdown. But he was shoelace tackled, and a kick from Matt Prater, who just walked onto the team, won the game. I literally cannot explain to you how amazing this game was. It was just a perfect rematch from last year's divisional round. Everything that it possibly could have been and more. An amazing, amazing game. I love the Bears so much. I miss them with all my heart, man. It was so fun to be able to lock in and watch a Bears game, all alone, too. I was excited all day, and they pulled through with a performance that Matt Eberflus shed a tear somewhere in pure happiness, because this was Bears domination early on. That first drive from Ben Johnson was beautiful. Now, I will say, if we want to take a step back, this game isn't even, that bad. Dropping 24 points on an elite defense in your first game with a new offense is really respectable. It's just, after the 50-yard missed field goal, you felt like it was happening again. You felt like the Bears were going to bear again. And they bared. They definitely bared. Jefferson scored, and J.J. McCarthy came back from the dead to lead a ferocious Vikings comeback in damn near 10 minutes. But listen, man, J.J. McCarthy showed some fucking backbone. He was playing some bad football. It looked like the lights were a little bit too bright for him, but no, after that pick six, he came back and just put the team on his back. He was making great reads, safe throws, risky throws when needed, and they just buried the Bears in one quarter. It was really impressive. And after their 7th straight stop, the Bears were dead. And it looked like Ben Johnson was just going to strangle Caleb Williams on the sideline. Once again, I don't think this game was that terrible, but it was a work of art. Another incredible collapse by the Chicago Bears. And it looks like Ben Johnson is going to keep the culture going in all the worst ways possible. So I'm glad. But before we go, you know what time it is. It's been a while, but it's time for the TubFrog Discord Awards, where I turn to you, the people, to see what you thought were the best and worst plays and players from this week 1 of glorious NFL football. And without further ado, let's get right into it, because I asked what you thought the best play was from week 1. There were a plethora of options, but it went to DeAndre Hopkins' one-handed catch. I guess he still got it, but yeah, an insane play. And then I asked what the worst play was from week 1. And also, I feel like there were a lot of options, but Tua just immediately throwing a pick and kind of just ending the game and the fucking whole season for Miami. We'll take this one. And then I asked what the best game was from week 1, and I didn't even want to put other ones for this one, but yeah, it's Bills-Ravens, and it's not even close. And then I asked who the best player was from week 1, and also this one was kind of a blowout, and that's a little surprising to me. Josh Allen took this in an absolute landslide, but, he did ball out. Okay, that's fair. But Justin Herbert was kind of perfect as well. And then I asked who the worst player was from week 1, and this one also wasn't close. Tua gets a double up. A rare double up that was reserved for the likes of, Kirk Cousins last year and Deshaun Watson. So glad to see that Tua is keeping the tradition alive. And then I asked who the best team was from week 1, and it ended up going to the Packers, which I think is very fair. It's kind of interesting that the Bills also didn't win this one. Not that I disagree, but the Packers really just came out there and put a statement win on the Lions' head. And then I asked who the worst team was from week 1, Miami. It went to Miami. It's still kind of crazy that the Panthers got single-digit votes, but whatever. And then I asked what your favorite soda was, and it came down to the wire, but I guess it went to Dr. Pepper? Sure, I guess. You You guys are tripping, but whatever. Anyways, if you like this video, then subscribe, because I got a lot of videos on the channel just like this one. And if you did like this video, watch this video I did a few weeks ago on Tom Brady's time in Tampa Bay. It's pretty good, trust me. And thanks to all my patrons for pledging tiers. Truly does mean a lot. But anyways, until next time.